leaks in the ceiling was
It
good.
can't be a nice place if it has habitability issues. But yet you still live there.
It took them 3 months to get us a new refrigerator. It was stolen off our porch. We work and we didn't have a time frame.
Gideon said that they were knocking at our door and they weren't.
How do you know? You say you weren't there.
I was home.
He just said no one was home. You all work. You say you're home.
I would.
Okay, so now you're lying. $4,485.
We don't have the.
That's not my problem. That's your.
But wait, there's more. Much, much more. This is a simple landlord-tenant hearing that is anything but simple. These professional debtors would have us believe there are so many problems plaguing their tenancy they had to withhold rent. But that's not at all how they operate. They move in with the goal of using any issue they possibly could to live rent-free as long as they could before actually being evicted. Their biggest problems, other than their being liars, are the trickle of water that supposedly floods their Michigan basement when it rains, and the fact that their landlord has too many names. If you're a landlord in the state of Michigan, stop if you know what's good for you. But at bare minimum, never rent to these two. It's likely they've done this before, and it's likely they'll do it again. Let's roll, nerds.
The appliances worked and the foundational issues were good and the leaks in the ceiling was
It
good.
can't be a nice place if it has habitability issues.
Right,
if
we're
you're
saying
saying-
it could, we're saying that.
Okay, I'm gonna talk, and when I talk, you stop the talking. And both of you all can't talk at the same time. The court reporter here has to type everything that's being stated here. When you start talking over each other, she can't do that, okay? So you can't both have habitability issues in your complaint and then say it's a nice place and you want to stay there. Because when you have a habitability issue, you're essentially alleging that they have constructively evicted you because the condition of the property is so grotesque that you couldn't live there safely. But yet you still live there and allegedly for the last 4 months has not paid rent, nor have you put 4 months worth of rent into escrow. And I'm not saying that you may not have had to purchase some things. Let's say you did have to buy a refrigerator 1 month to replace the refrigerator because it wasn't working. Okay, well then you need to show or demonstrate at the time that my $1,495 minus $300 is escrow. And here's the receipt for when I purchased this appliance. That's not what I'm getting here.
We have it all. We're
We have
ready
all-
to present our case.
So
You don't have it because I asked you, do you have the 4 months rent? And then you don't have it all.
So
In order to have a right to a jury trial, you were supposed to put your rent in escrow.
So the whole reason we requested a jury trial is because the contract that we signed for the lease was signed under false pretenses. It was presented to us in a completely different way of the ownership. They also gave us fake names and fake phone numbers, and they told us that they had a project management company in Grand Rapids, and they had a Grand Rapids VoIP number. Mike is who we've been dealing with, but we're pretty sure Mike is actually him. We think.
Okay. Who's Mike?
Mike is in Grand Rapids, correct? He's a local property manager.
Mike was a property manager.
What's Mike's last name?
States.
Where do you think Mike is based?
That's his middle name.
I have proof that his analysis is Michael Spates.
That his analysis.
His,
Yeah.
his alias. Sorry.
Are you Michael Spates?
Sure am.
So why didn't you just tell me on the record that you were Michael Spates? Is there another Michael Spates?
No, my full name is Gideon Michael Sagai Spitz.
So why are you saying it's somebody in Grand Rapids?
I didn't say it was somebody in Grand Rapids.
Right.
Our company is registered.
I just said, who was Michael Spates? You all just played a whole,
We have all the proof.
stop talking when I'm talking. You just played a whole game in here.
So sorry.
Why?
I
Why did you say I'm Michael Spates?
The name that I use for property management is Michael Spitz.
Why wasn't that your answer when I asked who Michael Spates was? No, you spoke in the third person because you wanted to make the court believe that it was somebody other than you, which is lying. Anything else?
Yeah, so they also have many different LLCs that are connected to this LLC to dodge taxes. We have a lot of proof of that as well.
Okay. I have an escrow order here for your motion for escrow. You said the rent is how much?
$14.95 per month, Your Honor.
$14.95, and you're stating that they have not paid escrow or paid rent since when, allegedly?
It's for April, May, June, and July, Your Honor.
And we're almost to August.
Yes.
Your last name now is Kiss, ma'am? That a yes?
Yeah.
Other than a refrigerator, what else have you needed to purchase allegedly?
All the food that has been spoiled that we have receipts for.
So you're saying you had food in the refrigerator and your refrigerator stopped working?
It's been broken.
Yeah.
It's been broken
Since we moved in,
When
yeah,
did you move in?
February 11th, 22nd,
And you notified him that the refrigerator was broken?
2 days after we moved in.
Okay, and it wasn't keeping your food cold?
No,
It took them 3 months to get us a new refrigerator, and then when it was delivered, it was stolen off our porch in the time we went to Florida to get married, and they illegally entered our home without our consent.
and his lawyer.
I'm sorry, you're both talking. I got the process one at a time. You requested a new refrigerator. They did deliver one, but they delivered it while you were out of town.
So yeah, about 3 months later, and then in the time that we were gone in Florida getting married, our house was entered by them. They said because we were gone for an extended period of time and they were allowed to do that. Then they didn't notify us, and in that exact
Who's
time,
they? You received this information electronically, you're saying?
them.
His
No,
lawyer. His lawyer.
their lawyer confirmed this, that they.
When you say their lawyer, you're talking about Mr. Garlinghouse?
Yes,
Said that they entered into your property?
yes.
They were allowed to because we were gone for so long. How did they know we were gone?
Right, and then.
Entered in your property, what? I'm confused. If they were dropping off or supposed to be installing a refrigerator, how did it not end up in the property?
These are two separate.
Okay, so that's why I'm confused, because you said it as one incident. So they delivered a refrigerator and it was left on your porch?
Right.
And you were in Florida then?
No, this was a couple of days before we went to Florida.
So you were home when it was delivered
Yes.
and you knew the delivery was coming?
No,
Why did you not know that I'm talking to him. Why did you not know the delivery was coming?
I knew the day before, but I didn't know the time, so it just got left on the porch.
You knew the delivery was coming?
Yeah.
Why wasn't someone there to receive the delivery?
They just left it on the porch.
No, I didn't ask you what they did. Why wasn't someone, you or your wife, or another responsible person there to receive the delivery if you were advised that a new refrigerator was being delivered?
Because we work and we didn't have a time frame of when it was going to be delivered. Just a day.
You have your hand raised, ma'am.
Yeah, when Gideon said that they were knocking on our door and they weren't.
How do you know? You say you weren't there.
I was home. The fridge was delivered right before we went to Florida.
He just said no one was home, you all work. You say you're home.
I don't work.
You don't work.
I work.
Okay, so now you're lying.
No, I was at work.
I want 4 months rent in escrow at the court in the next 7 days, otherwise you have a non-jury trial. 4 months of your
We don't
rent,
have-
$4,485.
We don't have the.
That's not my problem, that's your problem. That's the order of the court. Any additional matters for the record?
Yes, how do we file for this lease that was signed under false pretenses?
Who do you mean file for the lease?
Or to get our money back from this
You already have
from this
haven't you
fraudulent lease.
haven't you already filed a countersuit?
Yeah, but you're saying that we're not gonna be able to have,
No, I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
okay,
I said if you want a jury trial, which is when we bring in members of the public.
Right.
There's certain rules that you need to follow, and you have to show that you are operating in good faith. You can't stay in someone's property and you don't even at minimum put your rent in escrow at the court. You have to escrow your rent with the court to show that although I'm alleging that there's a condition of the property, I have the ability to pay the rent. I'm not just trying to live for free and use this as an excuse. And so you've been living there, and it sounds like since April, there's been no payments at all. The court or the jury will make a determination at the time of whether or not you have the lawful right to withhold your rent, but we're not there yet. Until that determination is made, your rent, it should be held in escrow at the court. You've not escrowed anything. I'm ordering that you do that immediately. If you do not escrow, you do not lose your right to have a trial. It's just the jury trial that you lose.
Right.
That's the issue. So you still have the right to present your evidence in court. It just, you don't get to have a jury trial.
Okay.
Both parties better come in here ready to tell the truth and the whole truth, because I can tell you right now unequivocally, I will sanction you myself if you all come in here and play these games again. Both of you have been dishonest. Yes.
Sure. Can we ask the defendants if they would like to just proceed with the trial today, if they know that they do not have the funds to put in escrow?
Trial today.
It would not be a jury trial, it would be a non-jury
Well,
trial.
then we need to prepare for that because you wanted us to read up on,
Well, that was if you wanted to have a jury trial. You told me you wanted a jury trial. He's asking if you want to waive your jury trial and have a non-jury trial today.
Like with you.
That would be the judge. You all don't have to, you can go outside and talk about it privately.
Okay.
You can take your stuff with you, sir. And we put off the record so that you all can discuss and consider if you wanted to move forward today with a non-jury trial, or if you want to continue to a jury trial. How do you want to proceed?
We talked about it. We just wanted to proceed with it.
Okay. And this was a jury trial, a trial, and then there was a counterclaim that you're proceeding, correct?
Correct.
You can have a seat.
Thank you.
And Mr. Grindhouse, proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. For opening statement, Your Honor, just our case is pretty straightforward from our point of view. It's a simple non-payment of rent case seeking possession and a money judgment that was filed. Yes, there are numerous counterclaims, which I guess I'll respond to after the tenants have had the chance to put on their case in chief for that. But I guess moving right into it, I would just call my client, the representative for my client, PSI Michigan Land LLC, Gideon Sagaye.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury. You can have a seat there. You state your first and last name and spell both.
Gideon, States. GEDEON MICHAEL TSEGAYESPATES.
Have a seat, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right. Mind if I call you Gideon?
Sure.
Okay. Gideon, you are a member of PSI Michigan Land LLC, correct?
Correct.
All right. And as a member of the LLC, you're familiar with the books and records associated with the rental properties that the LLC owns, is that correct?
Correct.
Now, is PSI Michigan Land LLC the owner of the property located at 331 North Pennsylvania Avenue in Lansing?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you repeat that address again?
331 North Pennsylvania Avenue, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Did you enter into a lease with the defendants, Mr. Trey Kiss and Jordan Jones, now Kiss, to rent that property at that location?
Correct.
If I showed you a copy of that lease, could you identify it?
Yes.
Showing what's copy of what's been marked as plaintiff's proposed exhibit 1. Is this the lease agreement that you entered with the tenants to rent this property?
Yes, it looks so.
Okay. And what are the payment terms under this lease?
Monthly rent, costs 18 months.
Can you speak up a little bit, please, sir?
It was 18-month lease, with a monthly rent payment of $1,495.
And so 18-month lease. With the payment term, how are payments to be made according to the terms of this lease?
There are 3 payment terms that we agreed on. One was the Zillow rental portal, which was created lease for under Trey James in May. Other alternatives are ACH electronic payments, and the last term is a wire transfer if necessary.
All right. And so you say the Zillow rental portal was set up in the name of Trey James. Yes. And is there any reason that it was only set up in his name?
Per the terms and conditions of Zillow, they allow one master tenant to conduct.
And was payment ever made through the Zillow portal?
The first and original payment that was made to secure the property, including the first month's rent and deposit, was made through the Zillow portal.
Thank you. All right. All right. And during the course of your business as a landlord with this property, do you keep a ledger of payments and outstanding balances?
Yes,
If I were to show you a copy of that ledger, would you be able to identify it?
yes.
Oh, actually, one step back, Your Honor. I move for entry of plaintiff's exhibit 1.
All right, is there any objection to their exhibit 1 being admitted?
Can you explain what exhibit 1 is?
It's right there.
The lease.
It's right there with the yellow sticker. It's your lease. If you want to look at it and make sure you believe it's the lease that you actually signed.
So there is a couple things, doesn't have any page numbers, but on the page, where it shows the receipt, for the breakdown of the payments made for, to move in, it's missing, $1,000, payment that we made for a hold.
Are you talking about what page? I know there's no page numbers, but can you count and tell me what page
It
it
is page 100.
Okay,
The one titled receipt.
that's towards the, okay, towards the back.
Sorry.
Is it titled receipt, like he said?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And you're saying that it says security deposit, pet deposit, prorated rents, rent paid, other charges, and total charges received? You're
Correct.
saying you believe that there was a payment missing?
Yes, so there.
You're saying so right now I'm not asking you if you believe everything in here was accurate. Is this the lease that you signed though? Was it listed, was that item missing from the lease that you signed?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so,
believe so. You have the original.
I have the
lease.
original lease. And it looks about the same as this, except for there's no signature on the
okay,
original.
so it was missing from that too? Okay, so then that's not a basis for an objection. That, though, you want to maybe pinpoint that you can address that when you give your case, okay? But other than that, this seems like an accurate copy of your lease, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, besides, just the missing
Deposit.
deposit.
Okay.
But yes, this is the same lease that we signed. So sure.
Plaintiff's 1 is admitted.
All right. So going back to again the ledger, you said you'd be able to identify a copy if I showed you.
Yes,
Is this an accurate copy of the ledger that you have currently for this this property?
it is.
Total of $4,235.50. Is that the is that the amount that you received at the beginning of this lease?
It is,
And that's the full amount?
correct.
Okay. Now, the tenants mentioned something about a $1,000 payment that was put on hold. Is that included in this number?
It is, there was a lease hold. They paid $1,000 in advance towards their security deposit. The security deposit was 1.5 times the rent, which is reflected.
Thank you. All right. And after those, that payment or those two payments were made, have you received any further payments since they moved in?
The beginning of April, they sent a $1 check in the mail.
Okay, so a $1 payment by check
Yes.
in the mail. Okay. So other than that, this lease or the ledger appears to show payments were not made for April, May, June, or July of this year. Plus there's a list of $50 late fees for each month. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. So you're claiming today the total outstanding rent owed with including those late fees is $6,180. Is that right?
Correct.
All right. Actually, I guess what did you do with that check?
We emailed the tenants asking how they would like us to deposit that and what charge they wanted that to go against. We didn't receive a response, so we just have the check with us today. Not sure what to do with it.
Okay. I guess would you say then they technically owe $6,179 as of
We
today?
haven't cashed the check, so the balance is still.
Your Honor, I'd move for plaintiff to enter plaintiff's exhibit number 2.
Any objections to the exhibit number 2, which is their ledger? And by objection, I'm not asking if you dispute the ledger. You'll get an opportunity to dispute the ledger.
The ledger looks correct.
Okay, plaintiffs 2 is a minute.
Thank you, Your Honor. So these issues with non-payment of rent, when did you start communicating with the tenants regarding that?
Around the 3rd of April, we reached out asking the tenants if they needed assistance navigating the rental portal, or if they just had any questions about how to pay rent. At that time, the response we got was we are out of town on business collecting our rent, and we will have it going soon.
You said the response was out of town on business, what?
We are out of town on business getting our rent together.
Oh, okay.
And did you send out a notice or a demand for possession for non-payment of rent on April 7th?
We did.
And if I gave you a copy of that, would you be able to identify it?
I would.
Your Honor, I'm handing my Gideon a copy of plaintiff's proposed exhibit 3, titled Demand for Possession for Non-Payment of Rent. Is this the notice of non-payment or demand for possession that you sent out to the tenants?
It looks to be so, yes.
Okay, and you sent that by mail?
Yes.
All right. The plaintiff moves to enter plaintiff's proposed exhibit 3.
Any objections to proposed exhibit 3?
No.
Plaintiffs 3 is a minute.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I do believe we have evidence we need regarding the non-payment of rent. There are some claims coming forward that due to maintenance issues and the condition of the property, I guess I'd like to just address some of those, right up front here as we enter. Given some pictures of the property from the listing earlier today, I have not had a chance to, actually, I'll let you take a peek at those. Showing the house and the condition at the time it was listed, allowing the tenants to take a peek at those right now.
These are the pictures we saw when we.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is beautiful.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. So Gideon, are these photos of the property that you provided for me?
Yes, they are.
Okay. And what do those photos contain?
Pictures of the home right before it was rented to.
Okay. And you're familiar, are you familiar with the property in the condition that it was at that time?
Yes.
You were there physically in person?
Yes.
Okay. And do these images accurately reflect how the property looked at the time that the property was listed for rent?
They do.
Your Honor, I would move for admission of the photos of the property as plaintiff's exhibit 4.
They've seen the photos?
Yes,
Okay. Any objection? Okay. Exhibit 4 is admitted.
thank you. Did you have the property inspected by code compliance or any other inspections?
Yes, it was inspected by the city to obtain a rental certification.
Okay. And if I showed you a copy of that rental, the certification from Lansing, the City of Lansing Code Enforcement Office, would you recognize that?
Yes,
Is this the certification that you got from, or certificate of compliance you received from the city?
it is.
Okay, and has there been any action taken by the city to rescind or take any action against the validity of this
There has not.
certificate? So it's still valid and in effect, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, I'd move for admission of plaintiff's exhibit 5.
Any objection?
No.
Exhibit 5 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. And there was some discussion before we began here about an issue with the refrigerator, which I think is probably one of the biggest recurring issues that I see in counterclaims and so forth. Can you explain what happened from the beginning with the issue with the refrigerator?
Yes. We received a message that the refrigerator was leaking some water. So we scheduled a home warranty company to come in and take a look at that water. For the home warranty service, we got a message saying that the refrigerator no longer leaks water, but that the freezer wasn't getting cold enough sometimes, and then the refrigerator at times was freezing some of their produce. So we then rescheduled warranty visit, have that looked at and taken care of.
Do you know approximately when that was?
It was around the beginning of March.
Beginning of March was when you received the message or when you sent home warranty up?
Both.
Okay.
It was all relatively immediate. We had a little bit of trouble with the home warranty company rescheduling. One of those dates was to accommodate the tenant schedule. They were traveling. And ultimately we ended up letting go that warranty company, but we ended up purchasing a new refrigerator around the 20th or so of March. And there were 3 separate attempts to deliver the refrigerator, all of which the tenants were home and had confirmed they were at home. But somehow the delivery people were not able to get access to deliver the refrigerator. Finally, we expedited a 3rd delivery of the refrigerator at the end of March or within the first couple of days of April. And it was successfully delivered. We called the tenant to make sure they were home. There were some text messages exchanged. They were home. However, the delivery company again stated that they were knocking for 15 minutes and nobody was there. I asked them to take a photo of the refrigerator and at this point just leave it on the front porch. Later on that same day, the tenants had confirmed that they had received the refrigerator. And then we heard nothing until, when we got a photo of the refrigerator still sitting on the refrigerator, still sitting on the porch about a week later. And then on or around the 25th of April or so, the tenant reached out and said that someone had stolen the refrigerator from the front porch.
So to the best of your knowledge, the refrigerator was sitting on the front porch from about the end of March into about the 25th of April.
All right, or at least that's the communication we received.
And as for other maintenance requests, are there any other issues that have come up during the time that the tenants have been in possession of the property?
There was a request, there was a leak in the kitchen ceiling, which we addressed within 24 hours or so. It turns out there was a lot of personal effects hanging from the shower head in the bathroom, which caused water to seep back behind the bathroom shower panel and drip to the ceiling. So we had that fixed and repaired, inspected. There was also a question about the washing machine. Sometime in March, the tenant said that the washing machine was holding water and not draining. At that time, we let them know that the maintenance for washing machine, along with a few other items, was listed in the lease as the tenant's responsibility. A couple days later, we received communication from the tenant that they had unplugged and replugged the washing machine in, and at that time, it had fixed whatever non-draining issues that they had originally brought up.
Now, with regard to with the washing machine, you didn't do any repairs for it because under the terms of the lease, that's tenant's responsibility, just for clarification?
Correct.
Okay. But you did do the repair for the leak in the kitchen, correct?
Correct.
All right. And what was the response when that repair was scheduled or made?
First, it was brought to us as an emergency with a lot of candor, explaining that if it doesn't get completed in the moment today, that we are going to fix it ourselves, of which we explain that they're not allowed to perform any service work on property, only licensed and insured vendors are. Then we finally scheduled it for the following day, which happened to be Mother's Day, and the tenant was upset. We're not allowed to enter the property.
Okay. And how was this all conveyed to you?
It's just all via email.
If I showed you a copy of that email exchange, would you recognize it?
I would.
Let the record reflect, I'm handing the witness and the court a copy of plaintiff's proposed exhibit 6. So the emails, like most email chains, they're listed in reverse order, correct? Like the most recent at the top?
Correct.
Okay, so this began, looks like on May 10th of 2025, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, and what does that May 10th, or I guess the two May 10th emails say?
From the tenant?
Yes,
I'm
yeah,
ready.
that you received.
Yeah, you like me to read it?
I guess the one at 11:03 a.m. in particular.
We are requesting immediate service. If not fixed by tonight, we will be replacing it ourselves.
And then there was a response that was Sunday the 11th at 1:57 p.m. It's right at the top of the second page,
Yeah,
that's the body of it. Can you read that?
We responded, a technician will arrive at 6 p.m. today to perform an inspection. They will knock and enter if no one answers the door.
And then how did the tenants respond to that?
They said that 24-hour written notice is required per Michigan law. It's Mother's Day. Entry without consent is illegal. Sunday after 6 p.m. If a text shows up without having contact information, the police will be called and they will be accompanied and charged with trespassing and unlawful entry. If any party representing your company attempts to enter my unit without being accompanied by law enforcement and without a court order to fix the leak, a proper 24-hour notice, I will continue to document everything and send it in.
These emails are between you and the tenants. Those are your email addresses to contact at PSI Holdings and trey.kiss@gmail.com.
That is correct.
Your Honor, I move to enter plaintiff's exhibit number 6.
Any objection?
For exhibit 6.
Yes.
So the leak in the ceiling, the man actually said it
No,
was.
that's not what I'm asking. Do you have an objection to the exhibit? Because this is supposed to be screenshots of your text messages or emails. This is not time for you to dispute.
Oh, yeah. No,
Okay.
yeah, these are messages from me and my wife, yeah.
Oh, okay, of the people 6, I'm gonna keep saying people. Plaintiff 6 is a minute.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right. So would you say, to the best of your ability as the landlord, you have responded to all the maintenance requests that have been made that are your responsibility to fix as landlord?
Yes.
And have you had any other complaints since then that have not been addressed in one way or another?
Regarding maintenance?
Yes.
No.
Right. Your Honor, I have nothing further at this time for the witness. Reserve the right to call him back as rebuttal after the counterclaims are made.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cross-examination, that means you can question him.
May I break for a moment to the
Absolutely,
bathroom
absolutely.
before I
After
start
that.
this? Thank you.
Back on the record. Continue. Have questions for this witness?
Yes. Okay, Mr. Gideon Disige, is that correct? Sigai. Isn't it true that you never provided your full legal name to us?
No.
Who is Leah, the woman that initially rented us the home? And what is your relationship to her?
She's a member.
Sorry?
She's a member.
Okay, because she was presenting it as
Do
the,
you have another question?
yes, it is, it ends in a question, yes.
Okay. Because you can only ask questions, you can't make statements right now.
Okay, as presented it as the owner renting it for her husband, and they used to live in Michigan, is this true?
Question.
Her presenting it to us as her and her husband's old home before moving to California because they used to live in Michigan. Is this true?
That wasn't part of that
Relevance, Your Honor.
conversation.
I'm sorry, what's your answer?
I was not a part of that particular conversation.
Okay. Oh, if you had an objection, because you gotta stand up when you have an objection.
Sorry.
You're objecting to the question?
It's too late now anyway. Your
No, he
Honor.
didn't really answer it. He just said he wasn't a part of the, and if you're not objecting, I'm gonna redirect him.
I will object and say it's relevance.
What's the relevance to this question?
The relevance is it being signed under false pretenses.
The lease, you mean?
Presented, yes.
Okay, let me just make sure I'm following. Your question is whether or not another person represented that they were his spouse? Is that what your question?
Yes, and that they were, and that she was renting out an old home of hers and her husband's. Yes, and we have text messages.
Okay, so you're asking if that was true?
Yes,
Okay, objections overruled. Is that true?
No, I'm confused, I apologize.
The question is whether or not, your wife, what's the person's name?
Leah Allen.
The person Leah Allen, you've already said it was a member, correct?
Correct,
Okay, is Leah Allen your wife?
yes,
Okay, and did Leah Allen, meet with them to go over renting this property?
correct.
Okay, and the question was it represented to them that this was the old home? Is that correct?
Their old home.
Your old home?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Thank you. So you initially introduced yourself as Mike. What's your last name?
My full name is Gideon Michael Segascase.
Okay. Are you a licensed property manager in the state of Michigan?
No.
Did you ever show us a management contract providing your authority to act on behalf of PSI Michigan Land LLC?
No,
Do you personally know the LLC owner, Gideon Tissier?
It's him, isn't it?
Right. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, did you or anyone associated with the management of this home ever tell us he was the legal owner of the property?
I'm not following. Legal owner of the property is. the PSI.
Hold on. Isn't it true that we signed the lease through DocuSign with PSI Michigan Land LLC?
Yes,
Was Zillow the original payment portal you instructed us to use?
that was the chosen.
Do you remember when our payment through Zillow failed due to a name mismatch with me and Jordan?
I'm not aware of the end of the Zillow payment communication.
Okay, because I did message you about it, Mike, or who I thought was Mike, about it.
Is that true?
They said that their money was in multiple accounts and that Jordan had the money, but couldn't pay it on Trey's Zillow account. So we offered them assistance directing them to Zillow customer service. And we also highlighted the other two remaining acceptable methods of payment.
Okay, isn't it true that the only option you gave us was a wire transfer to a Las Vegas bank account?
No, we've always had three methods of payment, one of which you used. And then we asked you how you would want to proceed into your payment. If you're having trouble with Zillow, you said, send us your wire instructions. So we sent you wire instructions for the lease.
Is Jordan allowed to ask a question?
Absolutely.
Do you recall us begging you to make me a portal on Zillow so I can make the payments as well? For days,
I remember your request.
right?
Any other questions?
That's it.
Was that bank account that you gave us to wire money in your name or someone else's?
Neither, it's in the name of the company PSI Michigan LAF.
Because it shows a different LLC name for that.
Are you
bank
asking a
account.
question?
Yes, are you sure that that bank account is under PSI Michigan Land LLC?
To my knowledge, yes.
Was the bank information you gave us to send our rent payment to the same as stated on our lease?
To my knowledge, yes.
I'm gonna move on to the entry and that part. Did you or someone under your direction enter our home while we were in Florida?
What date? Can you give me a date for that, please?
Yes. May 16th.
of this year? 2025?
So, okay, so yeah, it would have been around April 20th, 21st then.
April 20th of 2025?
Yes.
Until when?
When did we get back?
We got back on the 23rd,
Okay.
and everything was missing.
No, not only questions.
Okay.
Okay, the question was, did you or anyone under your direction enter their rental unit between the period of April 20th, 2025 to April 23rd, 2025, while they were in Florida?
No,
Why was the key lockbox installed on the side of the home in that time?
there was no installation of anything on the side of the home at that time. There was a key lockbox there prior to your tenancy.
Can we present evidence of a key lockbox?
You have a picture that you want to show him as proposed exhibit, defendant's proposed exhibit A?
It's going to be,
You can pull the picture out.
yeah.
Also, if I could connect, I could actually pull it up too.
Well, if she has it, we gotta mark the exhibit.
Do you have it, the before and after pictures?
Yes.
So we have a picture that we took of the home when we moved in, and then
Okay,
we also have
so you have two separate exhibits.
yes.
Which one do you want to show him first?
The first one?
The one of the home without. And that's also our car in the driveway, so you know that is our
You
picture.
can show what's being marked as the defense proposed exhibit A. Okay, what's your question for him regarding that picture?
Is that the what the house looked like before we moved in? The
If
side
you're
of the home?
asking if there was a lockbox prior to you.
You can give him back.
Well, there's no lockbox on that picture.
Is that your question? Is there a lockbox located on that picture, sir?
I don't see a lockbox on this picture.
Okay, and you have, what's your other exhibit?
If you move, is the lockbox on the next picture?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you move to the next picture on the next page,
The very first.
now there's a lockbox installed.
I don't see any reference to dates or times, or that could just easily be a picture.
I can.
No, wait, is there a lockbox on the second picture?
Yes, there is.
Thank you. What's your next question?
Okay. Why was the door handle locked that we usually leave unlocked because we only used the deadbolt lock when we got back from Florida?
I don't know.
Okay, then why was Jordan's grandfather able to enter the home to collect business packages a couple of days into our trip?
It sounds.
Objection, cause for speculation. Objections to stay. You can move on.
Okay. Was notice ever provided in writing at least 24 hours before that entry?
Which entry are we referencing?
This entry. The
Objection,
entry,
Your Honor, unclear as to what.
the entry.
Objection assumes facts not in evidence, because I think his response was that he didn't enter the property.
Right.
So you're asking a question that assumes that he answered otherwise.
I'll provide proof. Did you report, I'm sorry. Did you have permission to install a lockbox on our, do you have permission to install a lockbox on the side of our house?
I don't believe that I require your permission to install a lockbox, but the reason the lockbox was installed prior to moving in was to help in case there was a lockout situation. Really for the benefit of.
There is no other
Let me stop
lockbox
you.
on the house.
Can you make a motion to move to admit that so I can see what you're talking about? That exhibit, you only proposed it, so you now have to move to admit it so I can see it. Do you know what I'm saying? The exhibit that you showed him of the property that supposedly has a lockbox on it.
Right.
I have not seen it,
It's right there.
but you have to make a motion to move to have it admitted. I need you to make that motion.
Okay. Can I make a motion to have that admitted to you?
Any objection to that?
I don't actually.
It's admitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's see here. Okay, so where I see, just for my clarity, well, you circled it and you pointed, that's the lockbox you're talking about? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, and then this is your car here?
Correct.
And then this is another picture. And that's your car?
Correct.
And this is to show that there was no lockbox?
Correct.
And when did you take this picture?
Oh, that was a little after we moved in, a little bit after we moved in.
And why did you take this picture when you moved in?
Just she was taking pictures to show like her family of the house and stuff, so it's a zoomed in picture.
Oh, okay, so it was a whole picture. But you
Right,
zoomed in.
right.
Got it,
Yeah,
okay,
we zoomed it in forever.
got it, okay, you can continue.
Okay, I'm gonna move on from this. I'm gonna move into maintenance, neglect. Do you recall when we reported the leak from the upstairs bathroom?
Are you referring to the kitchen ceiling?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Who was the contractor you sent?
Who was the vendor?
Can you provide his name or his company credentials?
Name of the company is Forte Home Solution.
Okay. Did you follow up to check if there was mold risk involved?
In his report, he said there was no further issues to be solved. There wasn't a ton of water since it was hot the same day.
Okay. I'm gonna move on to next, retaliation and eviction. Were you aware that we filed a complaint with the Michigan Attorney General
Yes,
and that we filed a police report about your behavior?
no,
And you filed the eviction after those complaints were made, correct?
no. We filed, for an eviction when you stopped, when you decided not to pay rent.
Is there a reason you decided to file for eviction, 3-4 months after non-payment of rent?
You paid a move-in, which is your first month in security, and then you never paid anything after that. So really on your first true month of rent payment that you were supposed to pay, you didn't pay.
Okay,
Correct, but
Okay,
you're not
let me
answering
stop
my
you.
question.
let me stop you. I need you to get to questions regarding your reasonable, your lawful reason to withhold rent. And I've not gotten anything yet on any of these questions.
Is it true you stopped communicating with us once we tried to pay first month's rent and we were denied the ability to, and started asking questions about the validity of the property management and identities of the parties involved?
I don't know how to answer that. There's some assumptions.
That was so you can't ask compound questions, which means it's more than one question, like layered into a long question. So you need to break that down because I wouldn't be able to answer that.
Isn't it true you stopped communicating with us once we tried to pay first month's rent and were denied the ability to?
I can address the stoppage of communication only. You requested to only talk to our attorney.
Why initially when we rented the home, was everybody involved using, fake VoIP numbers instead of real phone line numbers?
What you said, why when you did what?
Why when we first started renting, or why when we rented the home, was all the contact information for the parties involved giving us fake phone numbers and addresses?
Objection, Your Honor. Facts not in evidence.
We have that.
Oh, no, the evidence means it's not in evidence on this record. So you got to ask him a question first about the phone numbers to establish through his testimony that it's fake. And then you can ask why.
Okay, is the numbers that you provided to us, real solid landline numbers?
They are real phone numbers.
But are they VoIP internet numbers?
I don't know what VoIP means, but it's
Meaning-
a number that means that you call it and the answer is.
Meaning that they give a location that you're not actually in.
What's the relevance?
The relevance being landlord transparency laws.
Move on. It's not relevant.
Can I ask something?
Do you have a question?
Okay, well, I guess that's.
Do you have
All I
any
have-
questions about so you're alleging that you withheld your rent due to some conditions of the property, I thought.
correct.
Well, what are those conditions that you're alleging?
The foundation is cracking in on the bottom. You can see when every time it rains, it pours all into the basement.
Okay, some cracks in the basement, foundation. Did you notify him of that?
Yes.
When?
I notified him of it the first month we were there, and then I didn't realize how bad it was. And then just recently, last month, I sent some actually to their lawyer.
First month, you said you notified and then not again until last month?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and then I sent some videos and pictures of the very large foundation holes leaking water.
Okay, how did you notify him of these issues? Email, do you have a copy of those emails? Did he notify you about issues with the basement foundation?
No. He sent over a notice that he thinks the washing machine had flooded. And then we asked for some video or photos of the flood, because that's a serious situation. What we saw was a video that they were arguing about wet clothes on the floor right after he said that the washing machine wouldn't drain. Our response to that was there's some like moisture spots on the unfinished side of the basement, which is a Michigan style basement. It's a mud cap. So during the spring, when the water table melts, the humidity gets very high. And then during heavy rain, it can do the same thing. So we recommended a dehumidifier, which is not uncommon.
Okay, let me stop you because you answered my question a long time ago. Let's see, you have a email, sir,
Yes.
of when you notified them?
I also have text messages,
Of when you notify him of the basement?
the basement, everything.
Well, so far, he's only told me about cracks in the foundation. What were the other issues other than the crack in the basement that you are alleging?
So they left a utility bill, or almost $300 gas utility bill.
When you moved in, there was already a balance,
Correct.
but it was in their name?
Correct.
So when you went to switch it over to your name, you couldn't?
Correct.
You notified him?
Correct.
Is that true?
They said something within the last, I think, 6 weeks or so about a utility bill. We weren't aware of it. We did look into it, and it looked like there was an individual last December who we're going to rent to, and they switched
Okay.
some of the utility bills. into
Okay, so
their-
you're saying that they didn't notify you until the last 6 weeks. When did you first notify him about the utility bill?
As soon as you have the bill in your mail.
Right.
When was that? I don't know when that is.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was
May of this year? So about 6 weeks.
it's been about 2
But
months,
you lived there for how long?
February 22nd.
But I thought you said you couldn't switch the bill over to your name.
Right, because so they shut it off because we thought we were paying it through everything through VWL when we switched it over, because we pay for sewage, water, electric through VWL. So, and it was running fine, so we didn't realize that it was through consumer, so it got shut off. We got the bill from consumer.
Oh, so you moved in, you never switched over the consumer bill.
Right, because we.
And so it got shut off for non-payment,
Yes,
and that's when you saw that there was a balance, you're saying?
from a previous tenant or them or whoever, yeah.
Okay, but you found this out after the eviction was already filed, correct?
No, it was before the,
When was this eviction filed?
April 23rd, Your Honor. It wouldn't have been served on you until later, but it was filed.
right. So,
They had a notice to quit though,
Yes,
so they were advised that there was eviction proceeding.
yes.
So you found this out after you were served with a notice to quit?
yeah,
Can I
Okay.
say something?
Yeah, you want to say something to me? Or I have a question?
No, can you?
Yes.
We got like 3 or 4 7-day notifications.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so more than one notice to quit, okay. And so this was an issue that you were even aware of until after the eviction was filed?
Correct.
What's the other issues?
the utility, issues, the refrigerator, of course, and then also the washer and dryer. And then also.
The washer and dryer, what was I remember the refrigerator issue, what was the washer and dryer?
Yes, the washer. So in the lease, it states that, that the landlord, will provide one, but that the tenant is responsible for the upkeep of it. But, it never worked to begin with, and also,
It never worked from the time you moved in?
correct, and they,
And you notified him of this when?
yes, immediately, and,
What day?
March 7th. He says there's just gonna be a technician coming multiple times.
What did you say on March 7th to him?
The laundry, washing, by the way, not the dishwasher.
right, they thought it was.
No, I'm not asking what they said, I'm asking what you said on that date.
That was just their response.
I'm asking you, what date did you notify them? That's your duty at this point. I'm trying to establish the your duty.
Saturday, 26th. No, Saturday the 27th.
Of March?
Yes,
Saturday, 27th of March, you notified him of the washer not working?
correct.
What did you say to notify him?
Been having to throw away a lot of food. Other times we were talking about the refrigerator as well. For weeks now, it's getting out of hand. Just wanted to let you know that because tomorrow's Monday. We've been here a full month and nothing has happened. I know we got the place as is for $100 off a month, but we would rather pay more if stuff is going to happen, and you guys just need to fix whatever issues here or there. And because they're just going to keep building up, I don't think it's fair. We paid over $4,000 to get in here, and now we're about to have to pay 15, 16 in rent here soon, and we haven't even had a working refrigerator or a washing machine.
Okay, and that was on the 27th, correct? Of March?
No, that was on the 19th of March. Sorry.
19th of March, okay. Okay, so you addressed the refrigerator, and the washer on the 19th of March.
No, the refrigerator was first, was February 26th.
Okay, you told him on February 26th, and then you brought it up again when you addressed the
Right.
washer on the 19th. Okay, February 26th, you said?
Yes.
Maybe, okay. And then what are the other issues?
Sorry.
What were the other issues? Cracks in the foundation in the basement, the utility bill, which you didn't become aware of until after the eviction had been initiated, the refrigerator that was having some issues, washer that you said never worked. Let's see, and what were the other issues?
And there's now a mold or mildew growth in the ceiling of the from that leak.
You had a mold assessment done?
No, I've had it there, but it's visible.
Possible mold?
Possible, correct.
Where?
On the ceiling.
When did you notify him?
I didn't. I haven't notified.
Okay, well then that doesn't count
For this reason.
if you didn't notify him. The cracks in the foundation, how did that affect you?
Because every time it rains, it floods the entire basement.
Okay, floods, what does that mean? How much water is getting down there?
Like standing water. Sometimes it depends on how hard.
Standing water?
Yeah, we can show you the whole actually
Yeah.
in the side of the foundation how big it is.
No, you have a evidence of the water there? That's what I would rather
Yes,
see.
and the water as well. Actually, if I could pull it up on here, I could show you a full video.
Are you in the Zoom?
Of the water and everything.
While you do that, I have a follow-up question about the washer. You said that the lease says that the repairs or maintenance is their responsibility?
Yes,
It's the tenant, okay, I see that here, maintenance and repairs. The landlord will have the responsibility to maintain property and give repair at all times. All repairs necessary to satisfy any implied warranty of habitability, except that the tenant is responsible for the following: fixtures, microwave, dishwashing machine, laundry machine, sidewalk and driveway, and yard waste. So you share whatever video or picture you're trying to show, you need to share it. If it's a video and it has sound, you need to click share sound before you click share screen. This is a basement wall, you were saying?
That's right underneath our stairs.
Okay, this is the video here. And you can see the holes in the foundation. You'll see water coming out of them in a moment. It might be too pixelated, but yeah, see there's
Oh,
water.
okay, so some water is coming in.
Yep, and then also I also show the big hole as well. in a moment.
I'm trying to see water, I'm sorry.
Did you not see the water?
He couldn't see it.
I'll play it again.
Honey?
It's like,
Yes, it's running.
I don't know if it's raining or if maybe something's melting.
It's literally flowing.
No, I'm trying to, I wouldn't say it's flowing, but I do see a stream of water coming through the cracks. It is the foundation, so that, you see that? I don't know if you could pause it, go back there and pause it right there. Do you see water? It's not as clear actually up there as it is on my screen.
Yeah, on my screen it's very clear.
Yes, I think because it's
Oh, I see.
going through there, it's pixelated. If you want to show him your computer, if you want to take your computer and show him, that might be helpful because it is clearer on our computer.
When was this taken?
And
This was just taken. I can get the metadata on it. I was trying to find where it was coming from, and then I found it. I was wondering why the basement was going up with water. And then another hole above that one.
And this was taken when?
Let me get the exact date here. And I have more than this too to show. But this was taken.
You have the basement flooded with water?
Yes, I have. Well, let me get the data. Yeah, on my phone actually. Because Saturday, 6:50.
on what date?
This Saturday.
This Saturday?
Only 2 days ago. Yes.
Okay, when did you notify him of this though?
Or no, I'm sorry. That's for the video I took of just the recent. I'm sorry.
Correct. You were supposed to be telling me when you notified him of some issues with.
Oh yeah, I notified him. Issues. And again, then his explanation.
No, I didn't ask his explanation. I want to know when you notified him. You can't tell me what his explanation is until I swear you in to give me testimony. I'm trying to help you ask him some questions about your conditions of property.
Thank you. Right here.
On the 5th, well, okay, there's something about a condition of property. I mean, of the foundation, that is.
April 5th.
Where's it say the foundation? Just highlight for me if you can.
Oh, I'm sorry. Trying to Sorry, there's a lot of emails.
Flooding and washing machine, maybe
Yeah.
right there. Where, okay, regarding the video you sent of the flooding that looks like humidity from the water melting, okay. Okay, so you sent him a video of the water going like you just showed us, is what you're saying?
No, I sent pictures of the floor, all wet in the entire basement.
Oh, okay, got
And
it.
this was the first time I ever notified him of.
Okay, but you didn't know where the water was coming from at that time?
Correct.
I did see you scrolled too quickly. I did see something about standing water up there. Okay, let's see. So you notified him of that April 5th.
Oh, I did send a video regarding the video you sent.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. when I
Yeah,
asked
so I
about
did send him a video, okay.
Not
Any-
that video.
Not that video.
A
no.
different video,
Yes,
correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That video.
Let's see, attachment. Basement.
Yeah, if his response was April 5th, you must have sent it before April 5th.
Yeah. And then I also wanted to show, the other videos of the basement as well.
The videos are gonna be similar to what you just showed me?
No, they're gonna show, that's the hole in the foundation in the basement. That's dirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
You can see-
how is that affecting your ability to live in the house?
I mean, it's definitely growing mold, and then it floods the basement.
And where's the video of the flood in the basement?
So there's water all over the basement there.
Okay, I do see some water, but I don't see that it's flooded. It does look damp.
But there's dry patches too.
That's the mud cap.
Okay. Yeah, and then we
Well, you have to answer my question now. Because in order for you to make a claim that that you can withhold your rent due to the habitability of the premise, you're essentially asserting that the premise conditions have constructively evicted you from the home. You can't live there safely. You can't make use of the home. And when you allege that, the court can make a determination that the conditions are sufficient enough that maybe a portion of your rent can be withheld, or sufficient enough that maybe you absolutely shouldn't be living here, all your rent should be withheld. Or we could determine that you don't have anything that amounts to you withholding your rent. So what you're showing me is some dampness or something on the basement, Michigan basement at that ground. I get dampness in my Michigan basement too. It doesn't make my house uninhabitable. So explain to me why this. I would agree, and I would hope that the homeowner would want to fix his foundational issue so that it doesn't exacerbate. But how does that affect your ability to live there?
So we have children. I worked in mold remediation and water restoration project management for many years. It causes very bad bacteria to be breathing in. We don't have a lot of other options right now for a living situation. But yeah, I mean, this isn't, it's not good for our health, and we have 2 little girls there.
Right. So you're saying hypothetically it could potentially create issues down the road.
I mean, it could be creating issues right now because I'm seeing growth.
But you can't in court deal in hypotheticals that it could be. Do you have proof that it's doing that?
I can see growth, yeah.
No, it's causing health issues, because you're alleging that you have 2 little girls and it's creating health issues.
Yeah.
And if you have that, then you need to have a medical expert here to opine on that, because you're not in a position to opine on that.
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
So all I can hear is that it could create mold, which we know mold could lead to health issues. But you're not alleging those health issues at this time. Correct?
I mean, I am alleging health issues.
You have health issues because of the foundation in the house?
Not just because of the foundation.
No, we're only talking about the foundation of the house.
Well, the mold in the ceiling in the kitchen as well.
Well, the mold in the ceiling that you just found out about,
It's been like that for a while.
that's not what you told me.
No, the growth. because we've
When did you
been
tell,
able
when did
to
you
see
tell him about the
growth.
mold? Have you seen a doctor about mold?
Not about mold, no.
Okay, well, then you can't allege that the health issues you're having, only a medical professional can determine that, and you're not a medical professional, are you?
No.
Okay,
but
and then, so then you can't make that determination. And the court can't even hear that and qualify that as true unless you bring medical proof that I got this issue because of being exposed to mold. And you've not been able to do that.
There is no medical proof that I could provide that.
Then you
something would
can't-
be
then-
caused
then
by
it-
mold.
Yeah, if you're not able to do that, then you can't make a claim that
not
it's causing that.
possible, Even if I went.
No, it is possible. It is possible, but you're not able to do that at this time. The other issues or concerns that I have so far is that the things that you're highlighting, the cracks in the foundation, only the refrigerator is the only issue that you have shown me proof that you notified him of prior to your being contacted about your rent not being paid on the 3rd of April.
I have proof of notifying him about the foundation way before that as well.
I don't have, you haven't shown me that. Well, what you just showed me was from April 5th.
Can I present exhibit E?
Exhibit E, what was
These are conversations.
the rest of the exhibits? I think you only admitted one exhibit. Yeah,
Oh, they're just all different. I just labeled them all different.
we labeled the exhibits. What do you have there?
This is conversations between Trey and him about getting our washer fixed, having their insurance company come look at the home.
When were these communications sent?
All throughout the time we've been renting.
Dates, please.
Here's one April 5th.
Do you have anything prior to April 3rd?
June 2nd.
Prior to April 3rd?
February 20.
March 24th.
Okay, pull the ones down that are prior to April 3rd. Those are the ones that I want to see. Okay, it looks like this is about the refrigerator, correct?
Correct.
On March 23rd. And I think I have a gist of what happened there. Looks like April 25th, I'm sorry, February 25th, that was the first communication I see on here about logging into Zillow to pay your balance. And I assume the conversation is going like this, but I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm looking at on the next, but it says never heard of these brands, pretty sure China appliances. Then we're moving on, we're talking about the mailbox issue. Then it's now from February 27th, next screenshot I have is from March 5th about the technicians just called and had to reschedule for some reason. Does that work for you? You say you're going to be in Chicago for a business trip. Would they be able to come while you're not home? You said not this company, just let us know when you'll be back and we will reschedule. Monday, any times we'll be home.
So May 10th, I have an email sent to.
I don't see anything from May 10th because that's after the eviction started, correct?
No.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, because you did, it's after the evict, you were served a notice to quit.
Right, okay. I
Yeah,
never-
so, and after April 3rd really, I don't want to see anything after April 3rd because April 3rd, he reached out to you about your rent. And your response was that you were out on business gathering your rent. And so anything after that, I'm not interested in.
So he asked for rent on the 3rd and threatened to kick us out.
When is your
We have
rent?
a 5-day grace
When is your rent due?
on the 1st.
Okay, so on the 3rd, he asked about the rent. That's why I don't want to see anything that happened after it, because I have an inclination that issues compounded after rent was asked for.
No, we tried paying
That's
rent.
why I want to know. I'm not asking what you tried to do. I'm asking for issues with the property that you reported prior to him asking for his rent.
The refrigerator and the washing.
Okay, thank you. Any other issues prior to that?
No.
Okay, any other evidence you want to submit, because I'm ready to move forward? I've given this case more than enough time. Sir, you can come off the stand. No other evidence from either side?
Yes.
Okay, and your counterclaim is for what?
$7,000.
For what?
The money that we paid to get into the home, because we believe this is a shell company and we said.
Because your voice
So-
dropped, just let her finish speaking, because you said you paid $7,000, and what happened?
Okay, no, we're asking for $7,000. And we're asking for what we paid to get into the home, especially that $1,000 hold.
It says $7,000, $5,111.25 in rent and security deposit, $808, if I'm reading it right, $888.75 for emotional damage. Is that what that says? Or did I read that wrong?
Yeah.
What emotional damage?
Emotional damage from having to deal with not knowing who our landlords are, them not letting us pay rent, us wanting to stay in the home but having issues with the home and nobody coming to address those issues. Instability.
How did you decide what rate to apply for emotional damage? Did you go to counseling for this issue?
I go to counseling.
No, for this issue.
For this, I have talked about this
No.
issue.
No, you went to counsel, you're already in counseling?
I'm already in counseling.
Yeah, you didn't go to counseling because you didn't know who your landlord was.
No, but it's added.
Right, but you're asking for emotional distress because you couldn't figure out who your landlord was. Although it sounds like you figured it out,
Nah.
figured out what his full name was, his wife's name, where he lives. So there was no emotional
But that's
distress.
the emotional distress of having to dig to just
It may-
find who our
And not
landlord
know
is and not
the whole time
know.
we're living there, what's going on.
But you knew that before you moved in.
No,
You met with the person you
No.
said was his wife,
no, we've
correct?
never met anybody
I thought you said the wife represented to you that it was there
over
for
the
her.
phone.
So then you knew before you moved in that you didn't know who owned this house, correct?
No, she said
owned
she
it.
and her husband owned it.
Yeah.
You spoke to someone before you moved into the home?
Yes,
Yeah.
over the phone.
So you were comfortable when you moved in that you had satisfied your need to know who owns the home at that point,
And then we
correct?
figured out that it was.
No, answer my question now. Answer my question. And these are yes or no questions. You had satisfied your need to know who owned the property after you spoke on the phone with the person you now understand to be his wife and also co-owner of the property, correct? You were satisfied that you knew who owned the property then? After you met and
Yeah.
talked to her? And so you moved in?
Yes,
And so when did you become distressed?
when we first tried to pay rent, the first month of rent, and they wouldn't let us because it was a card in her name. And then they wanted us to wire a transfer to a bank account that's not on the lease.
Well, did they want you to wire, or is it because you could not fulfill the payment through Zillow, which was what the agreement was in the first place?
So that was the only option they were giving us at that time. Like you pay through wire transfer, you don't pay it all.
Right, because our,
So you never had an option to pay through Zillow?
Oh,
no, we
did.
did, but
Okay.
they wouldn't let
They
us
wouldn't let me.
pay with a card.
Zillow wouldn't let you pay.
No, they would not create a portal for her to pay.
So you want them to create two portals?
Well, the cards were in my name. We weren't married at this
Not my problem. You want them to create two portals, correct?
That's how every other
How did you-
landlord we've dealt with.
How did you pay when you paid your deposit?
We paid in an account on a card with her name on it and it worked no problem.
Through the portal?
Yeah,
They paid with a card with her name on it through the portal originally?
We don't see the payment method, but they paid under his name, yeah.
Okay, and then after that, a portal is created?
No, they're sent a request. We identified Trey, we had a conversation, said, hey, Trey, you're gonna be the primary. Is that okay with you? You're the only one that qualified for income. They said, okay. They process and put their information on their side. We don't see it. It accepts it. They have to accept the rental terms, et cetera. And then they made their payments.
Why couldn't you take the money out of her account and put it in your account and pay the rent?
He just wouldn't give.
I'm asking him.
Because I only have a business account in my name, so I run a business, and I don't have a personal checking account. I only have a business account.
Why couldn't you get one? You use your income to get the apartment, correct?
Yes, it's
Why-
because I have a past. I have felonies, and I'm not able to open regular bank accounts.
So why would that be his issue and not your issue? Because you use your income to secure renting his property. And so he wants you to make payment.
Correct.
And now you're saying you can't make payment, it's gotta go through her name.
Right, but that's how we paid with a card with her name on it for the security deposit.
Okay, so when that wasn't an option, the other option was to wire them the money.
Right, they wanted us to wire money to a bank account that was not listed on our lease.
But you don't want to have a bank account in your name.
Yeah.
So they're trying to find a way to remedy it, and you don't like the way they want to remedy it.
We don't.
No, because when we tried to send the money, which is why they got a $1 fee, is because they flagged it, Green Dot flagged it as fraud because it was a transferring from one bank account to a whole completely different bank account, and they couldn't even find what that bank account was, which is what made us start digging in to all their different LLCs and wondering why they have so many different LLCs and so many different bank accounts in so many different states.
Sir, did your lease explain how rent is to be paid?
Yes.
I'm asking him.
Yes.
Yeah.
The payment terms
It's on the second page, Your Honor.
also lists the bank name for payments and security deposit.
Says acceptable forms of payment. You can do a direct ACH deposit and electronic wire deposit or Zillow rental portal. You were aware of this when you signed the lease then, correct?
Correct.
So why didn't you like it after you signed the lease?
Because the only option was a wire transfer
So you knew that when you signed the lease?
to an account that's not on the lease.
It wasn't to the American Express National Bank?
No.
Which account were you trying to have them wired to?
American Express National Bank.
You have proof that it was different?
Yes.
Let me see.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I also want to say that when we are sending the wire transfer, we're under stress doing this. I mean, they're like forcing us to pay them rent.
Forcing you to pay them rent?
Yes,
No,
the
no,
wire.
to
the wire
this
transfer.
wire.
Oh, because you gotta pay rent when you live in their house.
To this specific.
No, I mean,
account.
like, we didn't feel comfortable giving them a wire transfer, and it even states in their own email.
How did they force you? Did they put a gun to your head?
Well, no, but
That's
they're like,
why
we're
we
gonna
did it.
kick you guys out if you don't pay rent.
Well, that's what happens in America.
No,
You rent someone's house and you pay rent, and if you don't pay it, we kick you
I
out.
understand, but we're trying to pay other ways, not through a wire transfer.
But those aren't your options. Your options were clear here. You can do wire transfer or you can do Zillow rental portal. Sounds like you couldn't do the portal, so that means your only other option, if you weren't going to get a bank account in his name, was to do wire transfer. I'm trying to determine whether or not the wire transfer location was the same listed here in their lease agreement.
and it's not. And the person we were dealing with at the time is Leah, which I'm not sure why she's not here because she was the one that was representing the home the whole
Okay.
time.
I don't know why Leia's not here, but can you, she's established as his wife and they own this property together.
Yeah, and we didn't know.
It's under a business name. So but all the business owners don't have to appear to court. Now, if you subpoenaed her here today because you wanted to take her testimony and she didn't appear, that's different. But you all didn't subpoena anyone. Do you have proof of where the wire transfer was supposed to go?
Yes.
Can you get that for me, please?
Yes, have it. Las Vegas, Nevada.
What are you reading? What are you talking about, sir? I'm not know. What are you reading?
I'm reading the actual payment that we made to that account that got flagged as fraud. That's why they got a $1 check.
Okay, well, I see PSI management and it says recipient Trey James Kiss. It says the property, and it also has electronic wire instructions. It says the instructions and the routing number. Did you receive this before? I don't know where you sent it. Just because you sent something somewhere that was flagged as fraud doesn't mean that you did it properly.
It says
No,
PSI property management.
But did you send it to his routing number like
The one that he
Instructed.
texted us to, yes, and I have the number, I have him,
the text message of the routing number?
Yeah.
Can you show him the text message of the routing number?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you could mistype things. Maybe he texted the wrong routing number. I'll let him confirm that. You've also not provided any evidence of damage to your clothing. And I don't know what the security claim is for.
Our clothes just got like soaking wet on our basement floor, musty smelling.
Your clothes are on the basement floor. They got soaking wet
Or they were in hampers.
Yeah,
and you washed them and they could not get cleaned.
I mean, yeah, they were stinky.
You said what?
They were smelly.
Well, I don't know if they were smelly before they got washed. I don't know. You're saying because of the water you
Yeah.
showed
I
me?
mean, we just moved in. We had a bunch of clothes in the basement. It flooded. A bunch of clothes got
You have evidence of that and support of how much those clothes were. You have the routing number? Can you show him to see if that's the correct routing number for his account?
I also have the receipt where we found out his name is Gideon. That's how we found out. I don't know if you want to see this.
That's a receipt?
It's a receipt.
Okay, we know his name is Gideon.
No,
Doesn't matter.
No, I just want to let you know that's how we found it.
we're just trying to make our case that this contract was signed under false pretenses.
It was not signed under false pretenses.
This is the correct resident account
It's the
number.
correct routing number.
And it does, for the record, show American Express National Bank. That address.
Thank you. Judgment in favor of the plaintiff, your counterclaim is dismissed. You've not provided me any evidence to support that the property conditions caused you to be constructively evicted or even had a substantial impact on your ability to enjoy the use of the property. You've been living in this property without paying any rent. When he contacted you about the rent, your statements is that you're out on business getting the rent, but then he never got the rent. Then there's a back and forth about how you're going to pay him and your disagreement on how it's to be paid. When you understood this was the mechanism, the manner in which you can pay your rent when you sign the lease. So that's not a breach on his part, that's a breach on your part. I asked you specifically, what were the issues that you believe amounted to a breach of your habitability warranty? You said there was cracks in the foundation. The court reviewed it. I do agree that there's some issues with the foundation that need to be addressed. And I saw some water coming through the foundation. You've not, however, showed me any evidence that it damaged anything that belonged to you, that you suffered any loss or any health concerns because of it, or that it actually was flooding. I did see some dampness in water that was there. I think that if the issue is not addressed, it could become a bigger issue, but I don't believe that these are issues that you can use as a mechanism to state that this is why you withheld your rent. Furthermore, the paperwork and proof that you showed me was that you notified him of the crack in the foundation on April 5th, which was after he asked you about your rent on April 3rd. The utility bill issue that you're referencing, I don't know if there was a balance prior to. You didn't provide any evidence of a statement from the utility bill, but what I do know is that you've been living there almost as long as you've been living there without paying rent, without paying the proper utility bill. So if you didn't know that there was a balance and now that needs to be paid to get turned over, that's an issue that could have been addressed earlier on, but it was your responsibility to get those utilities changed over into your name, and you did not do that. So that's why there's a non-payment, and it's not even in your name. Then the refrigerator issue. The refrigerator issue, I saw where you notified him, I believe in February, end of February, about the refrigerator needing repairs. I saw where he immediately took diligent efforts to try to get the repairs. There was some rescheduling that didn't seem like was his issue. I think that was outside of his control. Some of the rescheduling was because of the utility or the warranty company that he used. Some of the rescheduling is because you, in one of those messages, said that you would be in Chicago on business. But I heard you tell me in open court that she don't even work. So that means she should have been at home to receive the refrigerator if you need the refrigerator to be replaced. The other statement that you made is that there was one finally that was presented to the property, but that it was stolen. The testimony that he's given that you've not rebutted was that there was finally a refrigerator that was delivered, that you confirm receipt of the refrigerator, that refrigerator later sat on the front porch of this property on Pennsylvania Avenue for an extended period of time, and then it was stolen. And then, no, it's not time to raise your hand because I gave you all 2 hours. I was quiet and let you have your day in court for a reason, and now your day on this matter is done. You let a refrigerator sit outside after it had been delivered because you failed to open the door when your wife said she was home. Don't talk when I'm talking. Your wife said she was home. No one bothered to get this refrigerator out. And now you have the audacity to file a claim to have him pay you for a refrigerator because you didn't have to go buy a refrigerator after he bought a refrigerator, had delivered, and several times no one answered the door when your wife does not work. And when you were notified that this is going to be delivered and you could have made reasonable efforts to make the home available, there was even an inquiry about whether or not they can enter the property when you were not there. But then it sounds like that's not something you were willing to let happen in the future, or because you're now claiming that somebody entered your property without your permission and they put a lockbox. I saw the picture that you put. I don't know if you put a lockbox on or before you moved in or after. He said it was before you moved in. One thing I do know is that the picture that you have that's zoomed in does not show me what's behind that other box that's there. So it could be that the picture that you're showing does not show the vantage point that you would like to show that would demonstrate that there was no lockbox in there when you moved in. I don't know. I don't even know if that, I can even look at the pictures that they presented about the property when in the condition that it was rented to you. It was an impeccable condition, like it was recently renovated.
Right.
Impeccable condition. So I can understand you're thinking that, oh, we're getting into a beautiful home, and I think the home is still beautiful. I think that the issue that you're talking about, which is a foundational issue, could come and be restored, but that issue did not in and of itself cause you to be constructively evicted from the home. I believe that you still enjoy good use and enjoyment of this home, and that you have been doing so without paying rent for the last 4 or going on 5 months. Lastly, the washer issue. It sounds like that was an issue that it's unclear if it was working when you moved in. The only thing I saw, though, was that you notified him on April 5th, again, after April 3rd, that the washer never worked. But you didn't, I don't see anything that you moved in and said, hey, this washer is not working. The information you sent was the washer's not working and our clothes are wet, which means you probably were using it up until this time, and now April 5th, it's never worked and my clothes are wet. And even if your clothes are wet and the washer wasn't working, does he have a responsibility to repair it if it wasn't working when you moved in? Yes. Does that constructively evict you from the home? No. Because you can rent a home and go to the laundromat. So that doesn't mean you get to withhold $1,500 a month because the washer, which according to the lease was your responsibility to keep in repair, wasn't working, and you now claim that it wasn't working since you moved in. At best, it could have been an abatement, but I don't see where you notified him prior to April 5th, after your rent had not been paid, that it was never working. So with that being said, judgment is in favor for the plaintiff, $6,180 for past due rent plus court costs. I don't know what your court costs are.
Court costs were $269.18, Your Honor.
Plus court costs. You can make arrangements about how you're going to pay that, but judgment will enter if you want to enter a installment payment agreement. That's between the two of you all, and you can do that. now. You can do it later, file with the court. That's up to you. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Any additional matters for the record?
Yes, one additional matter. We did file for a money judgment as well in this case. I do have the prorated numbers. The rent due and owing up to today's date is $5,745.97. Plus again, the court cost of $269.18, which would make the money judgment a total of $6,000.
Ma'am, ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
did you hear him talking?
I do.
Did I excuse
I
you?
don't think I was heard fairly in court.
I'm sorry that you feel that way because he spoke at length. I gave you ample time to speak. Whenever you ask me if you can say something, I let you.
Right, but we have way more to talk.
I asked you, did you have any more evidence?
You said
You said you.
No, I said I want to see anything that came prior to your failure to pay the rent. You sat there, I quietly waited while you looked and pulled out the evidence that you said came after or before April 5th, and that's all you gave me.
No, because you were asking for specific things about
Foundation.
No, I didn't. I asked you to tell me all the issues and I wrote them down. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? And I said, well, give me paperwork that supports these things prior to. The only thing that you told me happened after or before, I should say, the only thing you said that happened before the April 3rd date was the refrigerator and the washer, but you couldn't provide me proof that you reported the washer. The proof that you reported the washer was for April 5th, and the proof on the refrigerator was February 26th.
the biggest issue.
We didn't even talk about the biggest issue.
The biggest
though.
issues what were before any eviction happened, and is why we didn't pay rent, is because we dug into them and found out all of their fraudulent
They're
practices.
Has nothing to do with your lease and why you didn't pay your rent. And that's
It does, it's against
the judgment.
landlord tenant law.
You can go. Bye. Judgment in favor of the plaintiff.